Right, hello everyone. Welcome to our Hilly stream of Wheelspin Racing League's final race of the season at Portimao, Portugal. We are short qualifying 50% race for today. Short qualifying 100% race for today, and this 100% race includes double points. So 50 points for a win, potentially 52 if you manage the fastest lap as well. Between qualifying and race, I will take you through the standings. With it only being a 7-race season because of the new game release next week, obviously it's going to be mighty close. So, as I say, we'll take a look at those standings between quali and race and see where we stand. But I'm expecting a good one today. You see 14 on the grid. We would have liked a full grid, of course we would, but it's just, I think maybe some people just can't do the 100%, and Sunday being a family day as well, of course, so people end up doing other things, so it's just the way it is. So, looks like Tesco is out first on track, so let's go to him. Just bear with me a second, I'm going to just leave my party and then open a new one. There we go. So I had that party open for an hour already because I've just been commentating on the kids' races this Sunday afternoon. So it's just ensures I don't get kicked out anytime soon. So then, as I say, Tesco on track. What are we expecting? Anybody new watching the league maybe hasn't watched WRL before or watches it back. WRL, it is an equal performance league, so all cars equal to one another. So if any of my friends from ARC are watching, you'll recognise TTV Glads, who drives in Tier 2 in ARC. And it's normally more than just Glads, actually. Meki's normally in, but he's not here today. The Ghost Rider you can see is a different Ghost Rider, just to clear that up straight away. So they're not the same. It's not the same Ghost Rider that's in ARC. So in a way, Tesco is getting us underway. He's onto his hot lap. So as we know, with Portimao, it's a difficult track. It's different elevation changes throughout make it difficult on traction. You can combat that. This is one of the areas, the right-hander. A little bit too much power too early on exit and it will send you into a spin that you're not going to recover from easily. So there are things you could do around setup to combat that. Lifting your rear camber. So most tracks you tend to have the rear camber right the way over to the left. Around here you would have it right the way to the right. You may also run as much as 411 on wings is another option. That is an Aston Martin off track, by the way. I don't want to go off to that. Let's stick with Tesco and see what sort of time you can put on the board. There we go, 1:18.1 for Tesco. Gets us started and sticks us up a target. So there's a Haas coming towards the line. So this is Winter Place, who's definitely one of our title contenders today. They do 17.4. The other Haas was coming up as well, so there's a couple before that. Let's just keep an eye out on those, and we'll watch the Haas. So Drunken Shamrock then goes fast. It's also 1:17.4. But Drunken Shamrock's done out on the mediums. So the Centre of the Great crosses the line, 18.6 on the mediums. Greg, 18.8 in the Haas then. Lads has just started his lap. He is a title contender as well, and I believe in pole position. We'll confirm that when I do the standings after quali, but I believe he's the man leading the way into the final race. So here we go then. He's up the DRS. Stick with him, I'll keep an eye on the other times as they cross the line. So Idle Norse managed 19.1 on the mediums, Ghost Rider 19.4 on the softs. ET 17.5 on the mediums has gone P3. an Alfa Romeo on the way round. I believe that's Tesco making his way back round. So all these cars in front then, I believe, are cars that have done their laps, or done their first laps. So the Haas gets well out of the way for Glads. Nicely done. There we approach. I'm not quite sure what we're approaching. I think it's a Williams. I'm not 100% sure. Could be an Alpine actually, but they're into the pits in a way, so they're out of the way. And Glads goes fastest then, 1:17.1. A nice start to qualifying for TTV Glads. I think he'll need to improve that to hold on to pole position overall, but a good start nonetheless. So then, Cristo in the Ferrari comes around the final corner. Where can I was going to say where can he go on the leaderboard, but he goes into the pits instead. Who else we got then? So anybody who's not set a time yet are either on outlaps or in the pits. Ghost Rider. Oh, I haven't got a split time. That's good, isn't it? It didn't tell me whether he's up or down. So I don't know. Let's just skip through the others and just see. Right, okay. Drunken Shamrock appears to be going a little bit quicker. So it looks like he's having another run on these medium tyres. Ever so slightly down at the end of sector 2, but I do mean very slightly. It's just 0.03 of a second. May well be enough for him to back out the lap though. He's pushed the limits of the track there, so I think he's still going. So let's see if he heads for the line. He's probably up. But he's not. He's 15 thousandths down on his PB. So let's go down to someone we know is definitely on a hot lap. So Vito in the Williams. He's definitely on a hot lap, so we'll go with him. Just coming up towards the end of sector 2. Oh, and he's invalidated on the exit. Unfortunately, it was 53.3 across the second sector, but invalidates. So we move on then to Silver Eagle in the Aston Martin. According to my graphic, is purpled the first sector. Just be aware that graphic is sometimes a little bit wrong. Hey, Tommy Real One. Hey. Hello, man. And to everybody else that's viewing, thank you very much. I see there's several of you out there, so thanks for joining. I've been looking forward to this race all week. I've had a few final races of the season to do comms on this week. But not any, especially with the double points involved today, none of them as close as this. Although I have been lucky, really, because all the final races I've had to do have been to decide a championship, whether it's the drivers or constructors. So I have been lucky in that sense. So Silver Eagle crosses the line, P2, 17.3 on soft tyres. Vito, I would imagine, has gone again. Let's go to Bob though. Wish I hadn't gone to Bob now. He's invalidated. Just as I turned on to him. Vito then. So I don't know, because the fuel light's flashing and it doesn't look like he's pushing the track here. So I think he's just limping round to the pits. Let's go then to Winter Place, who is 3.5 temps up then, first sector alone. He is already on target for pole as long as he matches his previous lap. So, on to more or less just a straight now. Heads up to the, in a way, a double right-hander. That takes you to the end of sector 2. Crosses the line, just over half a second up now, is definitely on for a provisional pole position, and is also on to be our first man into the 16s. As he comes into the final couple of corners. Looks good out of there, not even remotely close to pushing the track limits. Round the final corner. All looks good, and it is a 16.9, so 5.5 attempts quicker. I still think he's got a bit more time there, Winter Place, in the final sector. He didn't seem to be pushing the limit, so I still think he's got a little bit more left to give. But nevertheless, into the 16s is a good time around here. Qualifying. Let's go back to Bob then. He's still going to validate his first attempts. He's just coming round towards the final corner now. So he is going to cross the line and get the time on the board. It's 17.5. Actually puts him up to P5. That's a fine lap from Bob. And again, like Windsor Place, he didn't seem to be pushing track limits in the final sector there, as Fentos has taken a trip across the gravel. You've got to be careful if you go off track around here, because it disqualifies you very easily if you're facing the wrong way and moving. But seems to have gotten away with that, so see if we can find somebody else on a hot... Oh, who was that? That's Greg. He's half a second up in this... Oh, that was to complete his lap, so he's actually just gone half a second quicker and moved into P9. Idle North has invalidated. Unlucky, was up. Fentos we just saw over the gravel, so obviously not improving. Center of the Great's gone into the pit. I don't know what that gravel... It seems to say it was 1.1 seconds up, I'm not sure what that was about. Greg on his way towards the end of the second sector then. See if he's going again. No, he's 8 seconds down. I thought that seemed a bit wrong there. Fentos. Is he just going to stick this on the board or come straight into the pits? So he's going to put this on the board, and I suspect he's going straight onto another lap. His fuel light's not flashing, and he's got plenty of ERS to do another lap, so I'm sure he will go again. So we'll stick with Fentos in the Red Bull. Fentos usually qualifies comfortably inside the top 10. So, of course, the later you get into the session, without having a competitive time on the board, the more pressure grows on you. So let's see what he can do. Very nice so far. Again, the graphic shows purple middle sector, but again, I'm not 100% sure if that's correct. Hey Vito, thanks mate. And thanks for joining and saying hi. So across the line, Ventos goes P7 for the moment. Who else is on track? I think Ghost Rider is the only other person on track that's not just on an outlap. So he's getting close towards the end of sector 2, so we'll keep an eye and see how he's doing, if he's improving in the McLaren. So round, it's the end of sector 2 here. Nope, 2.5 seconds down, so no improvement from Ghost Rider going on there. Fentos hasn't continued on, but it looks like Silver Eagle and Drunken Shamrock has started lap. Silver Eagle's further along the lap than Shamrock, so let's go with Silver Eagle. So come up to the back of Fentos now, but I'm sure Fentos will get out of the way. So Winter Place is retired from the session in the pits, so Winter Place happy with what he's managed. I did say I thought he had a bit more time in the final sector left, so maybe he could have given it another go, but maybe prefers to keep the fresh tyres for the race. Silver Eagle then round the final corner, heads towards the line. Where is he going? It's 2 tenths faster, and that puts him into P2 ahead of Glads. So we go to Drunken Shamrock, who's now heading towards the line himself, is a half a second up. This is a massive lap from Drunken Shamrock. Watch this. It's 16.4. He takes pole position by just over half a second. What a lap that is from Drunken Shamrock. There's a few yellows coming out. It's just people getting out of the way for other drivers, so no worries there. Senna the Great then is slightly up. A 10th up at the end of sector 2. As it stands, would be enough to displace Fentos and move into P7, but maybe to find some more time in the final sector. So coming through the final corner, where can he put this Alpine? Improves. Oh, it's just 100th of a second in the end, so doesn't go ahead of Fentos in the end. There's another car heading for the line. Oh, they're on an outlap that side on north. So Ferrari of Cristo is on an outlap. Just trying to see now who's this. Silver Eagles, so they're into the pits. There's only one Haas left, so that must be Greg, who is on a lap and is a 10th up. At the end of sector 2, so again, let's see if we can carry this round. Needs to find a bit more to get ahead of Tesco as it stands. So Greg then in the end doesn't improve time. Cristo has started his lap, so let's go to Cristo. Only person left who doesn't have a time on the board yet is coming through sector 2 towards the double right hand. One of my favourite corners on the calendar, that right hander. Love it. And split time looks okay. We are coming up towards the end of qualifying now. It's just 40 seconds left. So maybe it's going to be a bit close to getting across the line or not. Cristo 18.3 moves up to P11. So gets the lap on the board and gains a few spots. Who are these two then? It's Drunken Shamrock, but he's not going any quicker. Drunken Shamrock seems to have carried on to do extra laps on those tyres. He's going to be starting the race on those tyres, unless it's tipping down rain. But then if it's tipping down rain, why does anybody set the laps on mediums? Wouldn't make sense. So let's go to ET then. Oh, ET's a second up on his PB, which is heading for a 16.5. If we can find some more again in the final sector, he's challenging for pole position. Can he stick the Williams on pole through the final corner? Keep it tucked to the inside, does that nicely. Crosses the line to a 16.3 and takes pole position off a Drunken Shamrock. Brilliant lap from ET. Takes pole position by 0.04 of a second. We've got some more yet. Who's the Ferrari? It's Cristo. Did he go on to do another lap? Looks like he's attacking the final corner. No, into the pits he comes. Who's the car behind him? It's the Alpine of Idle North is going into the pits. So is that it? Let me just check down. It is. That is the end of qualifying. I'm not sure when Winter Place retired there that he realised others were going to be going so much quicker. But he's still got him P3 and he saved, we know he saved at least 2 sets of tyres. Really glad. Oh dear. I'll try and keep an eye out, bud, and if you get chuts, I'll kicked at any point, I'll try and invite you back if I notice it. Obviously, if I'm looking at a comment or something like that, I might miss it happening. But there's not a lot you can really do at this point. So, in a way, let's confirm the standings then. So, ET will start pole with a fantastic 16.3, 400ths of a second ahead of Drunken Shamrock in P2. Then we got Winter Place in 3, It's Silver Eagle, TTV Glads, Fentos, Bob Dylan 7th, Senna the Great in 8th, Tesco 9, Idlenor fills out the top 10. All those guys will start on soft tyres, assuming it's dry. Then outside the top 10 with free tyre choice and starting on fresh tyres are Christo 11th, Greg 12th, Ghost Rider, Vito 14th. So, pretty good. There's good gaps there at all areas of the grid, so that we should have some decent battles throughout. Now, I promised that we would check on the standings at the end of qualifying. I do need a quick break as well, so I'm just going to do this quickly. If I can find them, there we go. So standings then, straight away to the driver standings. So TTV Glads then leads the way on 87 points with Winter Place in second on 67. So a 20-point gap the difference, but with double points on offer. That is very doable. Drunken Shamrock's third on 57, followed by Silver Eagle 46. Tommy Real on 45, but Tommy's not with us. Where are you, Tommy? Fentos 39, Idle North 37, Christo of Ferrari 35. That's our top 8. For the constructors then, Alpha Tauri lead the way on 108, Haas P2 on 85, Williams are third on 70 with Red Bull on 62 and Ferrari on 61. But again, that 23-point gap between Tauri and Haas is nothing with double points on offer. So, and even Williams for that matter, 38 points really can be made up to date quite comfortably when you consider there is just trying to think, so there's 88 points on offer if you get first, second and the fastest lap, so can easily change round. Anyway, guys, as I said, I'm going to take a quick break. What I'm going to do, I usually put you on the break screen, but I'm not going to do that today. I'm just going to leave you just my microphone, just in case I'm a little bit late back. I don't want you to miss anything. So just bear with me, and I'll be back as quick as I can. Right guys, I am back. Am I just in time? They're just forming the grid, are they? Excellent. So I didn't miss much. Right, let's get position change up, full track map telemetry. That's all good for the moment. So then, ET, can he hold the lead into turn 1? Keep your eye out guys, because... Oh, quick, very quick, the lights go out. And away we go. So, Drunken Shamrock flies off the line. ET bogged down slightly, but holds on to P2. Winter Place and Silver Eagle are fighting for P3. Looks like Silver Eagle has the inside there. So, but then he's going to have the outside here. They're going to keep fighting, I think. Winter Place looks like he concedes in the end and settles into P4. As Glads... Well, Glads is having a... Oh! That could have ended in disaster, but Glad's quick to back out of it. I think he realised the danger and got out of the way. So he came under a bit of attack there from Fentos, but seems to have fended that off now. So they come over. Look at the elevation change there. It's incredible, isn't it? And there. That's what Portimao is famous for. So... go. Oh, Silver Eagle's round. He spun it and he will drop down. I don't think he's be able to get back on track before the last car, so down to P14 goes Silver Eagle. But with 100% race ahead of us, there's more than enough time to recover that. Sector 3 yellow. I think it's Silver Eagle again, you know. It is. Tyres possibly a tad lit up. Into the pits come Ghost Rider and Christo then, so something clearly happened there that we missed. Tesco's picks up a penalty. Let's get to the front guys then. So ET very much still on the back of Drunken Shamrock. They just extended a bit of a lead over Glads at the moment. Glads in his own fight with Winter Place. I think we'll go to that one because this is the two championship, or the two main championship rivals. So, and the gap is a bit closer than the one for the lead. So we'll go with this one because Fentos right on the back of it as well, and for that matter, Bob Dylan's not too far behind either. So, see no DRS this lap. It will activate when they cross the line, but they will get it after turn 4. But of course, it's only a short run down to turn 5. So let's take a look. Into place really on the back of Glads now. He may get a run into turn 5. That's not too close. Again, you see Fentos all over the back as well. So, there is Glads. He's not going to have enough time back his Winter Place. He's going to have to wait for the main straight instead. So, position change-wise, we got a couple of guys up 5 places at the start. So, Greg up from P12 to P7. Vito has moved from P14 up to P9. As Bob Dylan... Oh, what's happened to Fentos? He's across the grass. It's that hard right-hand turn. That's the first one caught out of that turn. So he recovers and rejoins in P, which is at the back of the guys that didn't need to pit yet. So I hadn't noticed Senna the Great is also needed to pit. So Silver Eagle now back up to 11th. And closing the gap as well. Vito picks up 3 seconds. So here's Winter Place then. Let's go on board with Winter Place down into turn 1. Again, it just wasn't close enough. Neither using much energy so far. Happy to follow. ET picks up 3 seconds as well. Oh, that's Idle North has gone off at turn 1, and there goes his front wing. It's completely gone. Careful, I don't know if there's a car coming round. Silver Eagle's just recovering from his own issues earlier on. He doesn't want to lose a wing in the back of a car recovering, so just be aware. Well, okay, so that incident has brought out a virtual safety car. So, interesting race so far. So Drunken Shamrock and ET leading the way and building a nice gap over third place Glads. Winter Place really attacking the back of Glads, and those two are the top two in the championship. They're really fighting for it. Now, remember double points, so third place today would be worth 30 points. Fourth place 24. That's not going to do it for Winter Place. It's going to need a bigger gap between the two of them than that. As we get going again, and Bob Dylan's moved up into fourth, so ET's pitted. Okay. Just wondering, is he... Right, he's exited. He clearly... Yeah, that's a quick pit stop, so he hasn't... he didn't pit because of damage. That is a genuine tyre change. So, now we're a bit further in. Let's go to the tyres. So, ET... Oh, okay. No, I missed it. ET must have had a drive-through penalty. He never pitted. He's still on the same tyres. So, a drive-through penalty it was. Idle North has recovered that Alpine to the pits and has a new front wing, so we can get going again. The gap between Shamrock and Glads is starting to come down. But, one driver sitting pretty at the moment is Greg in the Haas in P6. He's the highest driver that started on the medium tyres, and he's about 15 seconds off the lead, roughly. So, of course, at some point those tyres will turn around and become better than the softs. So, depends when that happens. I'm not 100% sure of Portimao what tyre wear is like. I'm expecting the vast majority of the field, if they're not forced to do more, I'm expecting 2 stops from pretty much everyone. Obviously the medium tyre guys have got the option of switching to hards and doing a 1 stop. I don't think we'll see anybody try and do a 1 stop on like soft to medium or medium to soft. I'm not saying you can't, I'm sure you can. I'm just saying I don't think we'll see anybody trying to do that on 100%er. Ride on board for some time now with Winter Place. As you can see him trying to do something about that gap to Glads and get an overtake, but Glads has the energy advantage at the moment as well, nearly 30% higher. Here we go, let's get back on board. This looks certain, doesn't it? So Winter Place does keep it closer and makes the move into P2. Oh, but look at Glads coming back to him. Back at him up the inside. Turn 3, they're side by side out of turn 4. DRS will activate, and it's Winter Place that had it. And so gets the inside of turn 5. So come around, still pretty much side by side. Glads does settle in behind now. So around they go. That nasty hander. There's a yellow flag. I believe it's Fentus again having a bit of trouble down at turn 1, 2 and 3. But he is back going. So we'll stick with these guys. Just looking through the field. They're actually the only two that are within DRS range of each other, so we may as well stick with them for the moment. this could become, the way it's going so far, this could become a very lonely afternoon for Drunken Shamrock. He's already 6 seconds up the road and just extending all the time. We do have another battle now. Greg has caught the back of Vito as Glads has a look into turn 1 but decides not to go for it just there. Doesn't want to risk losing his wing. That would be the last thing he wants. May have another look down into turn 5. But no, he's going to run out of tarmac, so into place on this lap defends it pretty comfortably. Let's just go down and have a look then at Greg, who's caught the back of Vito, as you can see. So this is Greg, having started on those medium tyres. Attacking Vito, who started on softs for P5. It's obviously massively important for Haas as well in the constructors, so be interesting. So, Andrews. Hey, Andrews. Yeah, 100% Portugal. Your worst nightmare. Thanks for jumping on, mate. But it's interesting, mate. 100% Portugal. Double points on offer. Point system for this league is your usual, like in real life, 1 to 10. Same point system as real life. So both championships are to play for. Still watching Greg, even though he's dropped to... I don't actually know what happened to Greg. I was looking at the comment from Andrews and I completely missed, but he's somehow dropped to 7th. Anyway, never mind. Let's go back to Winter Place and Glads then, who are still battling away. So, just to let you know, Andrews, because you'll know him from Mark, TTV Glads is winning the championship at the moment. As it stands, he has a 20-point lead going into this race, and the person who he is fighting is the man he's driving against here, Winter Place. It is these two at the top of the championship. So, obviously, Winter Place would need to outscore him by 30 points. Sorry, not 30 points, by 20 or 21. If they end up level, I'm not sure. I'd assume it goes on countback, and I'm not 100% sure what that would mean. I would need Bob Dylan to tell me. So, anyway, Glads looks pretty close this time. Let's go on board with Glads. Definitely going to go into turn 1 ahead. And I don't think Winter Place seemed too worried or bothered about defending that, to be quite honest. So all this battling from these two is actually allowing Drunken Shamrock to disappear up the road. Strange. ET the Gamer's just gotten up into 5th place ahead of his teammate, isn't it? Vito, so I think they've probably just done a team order swap there. And ET will start to chase down Bob Dylan, who, by the way, is having a fantastic race in P4 at the moment. Ghost Rider picks up 3 seconds. Just to confirm, Andrew, so I know you weren't here at the start, that's not our Ghost Rider. It's a different Ghost Rider. There's 2 of them. There's 2 Ghost Riders, can you believe it? I don't know, a 3-second penalty. So, I would imagine with this track, it's come the end of this race, we'll probably only be left with 2 or 3 that are penalty free. It's not that difficult to pick up penalties, and Fentels has just picked up 10 seconds of them for corner cutting. That's extremely unusual. I would suggest he's lost that, and so I hope he clips that and probably asks for it to be removed. So I don't know if Fentels is listening, but if he is, just make sure you clip it, mate. So Ventos, who started so strongly, was right on the back of these two for the first about 7 laps or so, 6 or 7 laps, and then unfortunately had a spin out of that dreaded right-hand turn and dropped down to 7th and has continued to drop since. A couple more spins since. But certainly off to a great start, and he's still capable of getting himself back up there and having a great finish today if he can just keep going. Shamrock puts in the fastest lap of the race, so 1:20.8. Obviously very early doors, that time will come down heavily before the end of the Grand Prix. Now, one thing I am noticing, it seems to be getting a bit dark on my screen, so I'm just wondering if rain clouds are starting to come over. I really hope not. We don't want a rainy Portugal for the final race of the season. It does look a bit dingy though, doesn't it, in the sky? Nobody that's racing has told me it's oh, I don't know, it's been disqualified from the session. Driving the wrong way. I mentioned it in qualifying that this track is a nightmare for this. He just parked his car, like North hasn't. The game has parked his car right in the middle of the track. Looks like it's cleared now, though. So, okay. It's a nightmare for Idle North. It is. Obviously, this was one of the new tracks that they brought into the game, and it's one of the bugs with the new track. I hope they've got it sorted for 22. I'm sure they will, but it's like Portimao seemed to have this issue, and Jeddah had that weird issue with invalidating times when you've not even got anywhere near the edge of the track. Ghost invalidations kind of thing. Can't park there, mate. No, you're right, mate. It was unfortunately, that was the game. That was the AI that did that to him, mate. Not him. It is a nightmare. On the other hand, Idle North, if you are listening, buddy, better to have that happen now than after about 58 laps or something. Think of it that way. Save yourself a lot of time. That's these two championship contenders. Winter Place, of course, the current champion. Winter Place won the championship last season. I did comms for about the last 3 or 4 races of last season, so I saw that happening. And then I've done every race this season, so Bob Dylan does keep telling me to get on track. Perhaps at a season I'll get on and show these boys how to do it, innit, Andrews? Show them how we do it in ARC. Although Glads is already doing that. Yeah, maybe not. I was just going to go back to the stand-ins a second, because it's all calmed down a little bit on track. Obviously, these two are fighting away, but all the other gaps are big. But something tells me unless they get separated by pit stops, these two could be doing this all race anyway. So I'm just going to go back and have another look at the stand-ins, because I know they weren't the only two that could potentially win the title today, but they're the most likely. So let's just have a... Oh, I've lost it again. Where is it? There it is. Okay, so coming back to the stand-ins then. So, as we know, TTV Glads was leading away on 87. Winter Place is second on 67. Now, Drunken Shamrock, our leader... Who was that? That was a Red Bull. Well, there's only one Red Bull left on track, so that must have been Fentos. So... Ah, poor old Fentos has found himself a lap down now as well. Oh, and we've lost Ghost Rider. Ghost Rider, and it's brought out a full safety car. He's over there. It's an odd place to lose it. I can only assume he was hugging the inside curve and it's dragged him into the wall. But of course, the soft driver, they're all going to pit, aren't they? The soft drivers, surely. That is an odd place. Look at Winter Place there, having a sneaky look. Surely all of the soft drivers will pit, they've got to. It's perfectly timed for them, in all fairness, if they're going to do a soft, medium, medium. It's perfectly timed for those guys. So much so that I was just wonder if the medium guys might pit as well and amend their strategies. So yeah, in comes Greg, who's our top medium runner. Just looking down, I think everybody's going to pit, with the exception maybe of Fentos. Did this allow Fentos to unlap himself then? It did indeed. Go down to Fentos, he's there. Safety car is just, well, you're not going to quite see it, but it's just back there, the safety car. So he has unlapped himself, which is awesome news for him. And we'll see him get back into the race. Anyway, sorry, my apologies. Let's go back. Yeah, so Glad's leading the way on 87, Winter Place 67, Drunken Shamrock is 57. So, as it stands, Drunken Shamrock will pick up 50 points for the race win. Potential fastest laps in there as well, but I'm sure that's going to change around a bit before the end. Glads would pick up 36 points for second place, making him champion. Winter Place picking up 30. We'll put him on 97, so actually Winter Place would drop to third with Drunken Shamrock going up. Fourth place is Silver Eagle on 46. Silver Eagle currently running in P9. So, all to play for. A lot of laps left to do. 52 laps in fact, so it could all change about. And just taking a quick look at the constructors, AlphaTauri lead the way. Unfortunately, AlphaTauri, of course, only have the one driver today. The good news is it's Glads, but no second driver. Haas are second, so 108 AlphaTauri. Haas are on 85. So Haas currently running in P3 and P8. So AlphaTauri currently would pick up 36 points, Haas 30, and then 8, so 38 points. So they need quite a big turnaround there as well. I think if Glads keeps that AlphaTauri on the podium, it's going to be very hard for Haas to turn anything around there, to be honest. But in a way, I'm kind of glad of this safety car. It's just bunching everybody back up again. Again, obviously not nice to lose Ghost Rider, but hey ho. And as far as Idle North's concerned, what a way to say goodbye to this F1 21 game. It's just a disqualification for driving the wrong way. Stupid ass game. So well, possibly the only man on track that won't be over the moon. Actually, no, there's probably two men on track that won't be over the moon about this safety car, and that is probably our leader, Drunken Shamrock, because he built up about 7-second lead, and Glads in P2 because he knew with how it was, the title was his. So they're probably the only two on track that won't be over the moon. Bob Dylan maybe, because he was doing very nicely in P4, had a nice gap to ET, so probably won't be over the moon. But yeah, it's interesting. And of course, we're talking about the guys winning the championship, but all these drivers are fighting for their different places in the championship. I'm not going to go in and go through all of them as Christo pits. Final one to pit then. I'm hoping I'm seeing things, because I thought I just saw a raindrop then. But I think I might be seeing things, but that sky does look dark and very cloudy. I don't know if any of the drivers or if Ghost Rider or Idle North are in the stream, but if you are, is there supposed to be rain at some point? Just to let you guys watching know, as soon as this is over, I'll be switching over straight to Apex Racing League's realistic tier, and we're on our penultimate race of the season, but there's a championship at stakes there. The drivers could well be decided tonight between Lil Daz and Canty, so if you want to tune in for that, please do. It'll be a full qualifying followed by 50% race at Spa, so if you'd like to tune in, please do. If the championship is decided tonight, there is a very good chance we won't race the final race of the season next week, so because of the new game release. So right, so off goes Drunken Shamrock. Seems to catch Glads a little bit there. What about Windsor Place? If anything, it looks like Windsor Place might come under a bit of pressure from Bob Dylan. Not in the end. We go through pretty uniform through the first corner. This first lap around here after a safety car where the tyres are a bit cold. Can be a bit of a nightmare. Especially if you've got a setup that doesn't aid towards heating the tyres during a safety car. Oh, apologies for that, it was my dad having a bit of a cough. I'm just going to drop down the grid a little bit because we've got Silver Eagle battling with Greg. So moving to P8. Tesco and Fentos also were battling. Tesco's just come off slightly better in that one. But Fentos makes the move. Brilliant move from Fentos there. Moves him up into P10. Nicely done. So, again, Drunken Shamrock is just pushing that gap out already over a second. Front. ET has gotten ahead of Bob Dylan and is now all over the back of Windsor Place. So this is the difference now. This is what the safety car has done. It's brought the likes of ET up onto the back of these front three, and we know ET is quick. That's why he was pole position. He was 16.3. It's a very respectable time in qualifying here at Portimao. So, a bit hard to know who to watch at the moment. There's battles all over. Our closest one actually is Silver Eagle on the back of Vito, but as you can see, they're all mighty close as it stands. But this is looking like our most likely for an overtake. But when I say that, an overtake usually occurs somewhere else. So, oh, Fentos. Oh, yellow flag. I think he went round again at the right-hander. It's not his day so far, is it, Fentos? But again, still a lot of time left to sort that out. You can all turn around so quickly. As Shamrock then sets the fastest lap of the race. ET beats it by a tenth straight after for a 1:20.7. DRS enabled. They won't have it here, of course, until after turn 4. They'll get it from turn 4 down to turn 5 as Greg makes a move on Vito. Just had a screenshot. Oh, in fact, Vito's round, I believe. He's recovered it, but he did go round and drops to P11. And so we got Silver Eagle. I think we've got to go to ET here. You know, he's all over the back of Glads now. But you've got to say, he looks super quick here, does ET. Clearly likes this track. I won't imagine Windsor Place is minding this too much. Glads wants to keep that car between him and Windsor Place. He's going to Probably has to soak up some energy to do that, and probably doesn't want to do that, in all honesty. But the DRS will open up. Surely this is just going to be a wave bite for ET as he flies through and takes P2 off of Glads. Silver Eagle up to P6. So the top boys in the championship are all gradually making their way through the field together, and for anyone that's not Glads, that's not ideal. That is Tesco. Has gone round and drops to the back behind Fentos, but lives to fight another day. The main thing, as Greg is all over the back of Senna the Great now. As I say, that it just drops off slightly. Still. Oh, that's Tesco again, unfortunately, on the right-hander after he's probably lit his tyres up a bit and spun it again. Just needs to take it easy for the next half a lap. Let the tyre temps come down, but Silver Eagle then on the back of Bob Dylan is going to pick up DRS. Let's go on board. Relatively easy, as you can see, and he comes into turn 1, already ahead into the braking zone. And Bob Dylan got a little bit out of shape, but I think he's recovered it. He's okay. He stayed within DRS, so he's going to pick up DRS here, which will help him. He doesn't want to fall too far back. You don't want to fall into the clutches of the two behind, Senna and Greg. It's just sort of Senna's in and out of DRS to Bob at the moment, so it's really important coming the end of the lap. Further up at the moment, Glads is just holding on to DRS off of ET, who's going after Shamrock. He's just dropped out now, which obviously is going to be important for Winter Place, as Christo spins out of the right-hander, our latest victim of that right-hander, but again recovers it and gets going again. It's the only redeeming feature of that right-hander. I likened it earlier on to the right-hander. It's that's Tesco at the same place again. Right-hander again. Yeah, I likened it to the right-hander. It's Imola earlier on, and I'm just going to go to Fentos, who is right on the back of Vito. So yeah, I likened it to the right-hander on. You can see Vito's ERS light is beeping, and so Fentos goes through and retakes P9. So said if he keeps with it, there are still points on the board for him today, and he's already up into P9, which is 4 points today, and he will get off after Greg, who he knows is going to have to be earlier than him. So off he will go. So if we go back into Glads and Winter Place, well, there's a couple of battles, so I'm just trying to keep an eye on the gap on all three of them. So hopefully we don't miss an overtake. One of them was Greg on the back of Senna, but Greg's just dropped second for some reason, so that one's disappeared. But Vito at the moment staying on the back of Fentos, just about. As I say that, he drops over the second. So we're back to the same situation again, where Glads and Winter Place continue to fight. So picks up 3 seconds. And I said these guys could be fighting through to the end, and they still could. Greg in the end, I think Greg then, when he dropped off that time, must have actually picked up a bit of damage because he's pitted. So into the pits he comes. Obviously, that's bad for Haas. He's one of the Haas drivers, so we're still fighting for the constructors today. That pit stop means he does drop to the back, but of course is on fresh softs now, so we'll at least be able to put in some fast lap times to help him get back up into the field again. Bob Dylan picks up a penalty. Still running well, is Bob Dylan. P6. Senna the Great, by the way, on 20 lap old mediums now. Obviously opted not to pit during the safety car. I thought everybody had pitted actually, but so obviously not Senna. So again, Windsor Place gets mighty close to the back of Glads, but not soon enough to make a move. And again, I don't think he's close enough here. He ran out of tarmac. So, well, it's decision time, I think, for Windsor Place. I know we're not we're not halfway through the Grand Prix yet. We've still got about 8 laps to the halfway stage, but at some point he needs to make a decision on how he's going to dispatch Glads, because he needs. The problem for Windsor Place is he needs to be closer towards the top 2. So how does he do that now? Well, I don't know if any of you guys got an idea, but I would suggest that there's a pit stop involved. So it doesn't look like, even if he does get past with Glads on track, it doesn't look like he's you know, it doesn't look like he's going to have the pace to actually disappear from Glads. It's Glads, they seem very equal on pace at the moment. You might think, is there a way that he can do an undercut? Maybe he needs to change strategy. Maybe do, say, 4 more laps on the mediums and then take a 2-stop from here and do 2 soft tyre stints and try and do it that way. But I'm sure all this. The one thing I will say about Windsor Place is he is superb when it comes to strategy. We've seen it in the recent races where he's picked up wins, and he's done it through strategy. So he seems to know. He almost seems to have a sixth sense about it. Which is good. Not all drivers could do that, because your mind starts wandering and you start thinking about your strategies and when you're going to pit and all that sort of thing. Hi Ghost Rider, thanks for joining, buddy. Yeah, your mind starts to wander. You start thinking about strategies. When am I going to pit? How do I get past this guy? I need to go for an undercut, so how early can I pit? Do I need to think about changing to a 2-stop? Do I go for a 1-stop and hope he's going to do a 2-stop or whatever? You know, your mind starts to wander, and sometimes that affects your driving, and before you know it, you've had a little spin. But Windsor Place isn't one of those. He just, it seems to, it's to say, it's like a sixth sense to him. And in recent races, say, it's that ability to change his strategy at a moment's notice, which have given him wins and put him in the position he's in today. With every lap that ticks by, the less likely it is that he'll retain his driver's title. Just by the way, ET has caught onto the back of Drunken Shamrock. There is a yellow flag. It's the right-hander again, and I believe it was Silver Eagle who's had a little moment. I'm not absolutely sure on that, but I think it was. Actually, yeah, I think because he's got Bob all over the back of him now, so I think it must have been. I don't know. He doesn't look flat out, does he? So I wonder if he's going to duck into the pits here. X Vertigo has joined. You can leave again, X Vertigo. So Bob opens up the DRS. Is he going to be able to get close enough? It doesn't look like it, but if he can stick on the gearbox through turn 4, which is the next one after this, he'll get another opportunity. And it's turn 5, so it doesn't look like it. No, he's going to run out of tarmac way too early. So it looks like Silver Eagle's recovered after whatever it was that happened to him. Maybe just took him half a lap to get the tyres going again, but he has done that now. So back to Gladstone Winter Place, although I will try and keep an eye on these gaps. Bob's just dropped ahead of the 1 second now to Silver Eagle, but the gap between the two leaders is there as well, and that is Fentos. And guess where? It's the right-hander. So he looks to recover. So once again he recovers it, and he'll get going. But oh no! Well, not Fentos' finest, mate. He's going to have to be careful here as well, because those tyres look horrendous. If he can get the tyres going again, he's still inside the top 10, so still in the points. I just wonder, so close to the pits, if he might just give up on these tyres and stick a new set on. No, he's going to continue on with them. Fair enough. Anyway, let's go to... These are the front two. So this is Junk and Shamrock being attacked at the moment by ET. So Fentos picks up 3 seconds just to rub salt into the wound. Shame for Fentos. We knew he'd had a struggling to start to the race, but seemed to have put it behind him and was gradually making his way back up through the sort of lower positions in the points. So through goes ET the Gamer into turn 1, takes the lead of the race. He's clearly, I mean, he took pole position in qualifying by 0.04 of a second over Drunken Shamrock, but you have to say he's looked the quickest on track during the race by a little way, and from what we've seen, I wouldn't be surprised to see him build that gap now. He's already pushing the second. Seems to be at one with that car, and so we're working for him. Got a lovely setup. The tyres seem to be working for him. It's really, really nice when you get into this sort of rhythm. Feels amazing. But anyway, let's go back to Glads and Winter Place. They are a bit closer this lap than they've been for a few laps, so I think we might see a move. Yeah, look, we are going to see a move. Winter Place is lining this one up. He's definitely close enough. Let's go on board. So it does it so close, he doesn't bother using any energy. The move's done way before they reach the braking zone. But again, if it's like the earlier laps, don't expect Winter Place to disappear here. Glads will attack him straight back. It's just Glad's turn to be the one behind for a little while. So that was the leaders that you saw disappear on the right hand side. So they're not that far out the road. Well, I mean, it's 7.3 seconds out the road, but when you say it like that, it's because it's such a slow corner there. It doesn't seem that far. But anyway, but they are effectively 2 to 3 corners ahead at the moment. So obviously another safety car, and that will change again. I just wonder how long they're going to push these tyres. Senator Great's still on his medium tyres, and he's on 27 laps. Also, he had to take an early pit stop, did Senna, as ET sets the fastest lap of the race. Sector 2 yellow. Guess where? It's the right-hander, and that one was Christo this time. Doesn't seem to have affected him too badly, though. He's not dropped that much time to the car in front, as Winter Place gets mighty close on this lap, but again, but this time, and yeah, we'll run out of tarmac before turn 5, so again, it's just happened again where these guys are our last battle, really. As it stands, our only battle, sorry. Some others that are reasonably close to the car in front, sort of within a couple of seconds, but not within DRS. So, oh, look at this. Ventos picks up 5 seconds speeding in the pit lane and retires in the pit lane. I can't say, we never like to see people retiring in the pit lane in any league, in any race, but I also can't say I entirely blame Ventos. It's, after such a promising start to the race, it's just gone from bad to worse. As Christo has another moment at the right-hander, brings up a yellow flag, but again seems to get going pretty quickly again. So, a bit naughty from Ventos to retire in the pits, but, as I say, just wanted... Oh, look, I've been kicked. How wonderful. Stupid Xbox Live thing. Let's hope we can get back in pretty quickly. Okay, it does it. You must be connected to Xbox Live, then it does communicate into online services, and you're literally like there straight away. You are connected. Hang on. Why is Bob Dylan not coming up? Oh, Vito, there you are, that's one. Do. To be fair, I'm about 2 hours into my streaming duties tonight, and that's the first time I've been kicked, so it's not that bad. ET has left the session. Has ET really left the session? It looks like he has. Oh, it won't let me go onto his gamer card. It's also giving a 5-second penalty. It's a nightmare for ET. This little moment. Can't get onto his gamer card. Just go off in a second. Yeah, look, Drunken Shamrock going around the outside. Greg has retired. I think Greg's lost it. He's lost it the same place as Ghost Rider, and it's brought out a full safety car again. Well, hopefully this will allow ET to get back with us. He appears to have... Sorry, ET, I tried to invite you back, but it wouldn't let me onto your gamer card, mate. I don't know why. You leaving us seemed to coincide with me getting back in, so if it had anything to do with it, I apologise, but to be honest, it's the stupid ass game, not not me. Anyway, so yeah, our second safety car is brought out in basically the same circumstances as the first, the same corner, the same incident pretty much, just 2 different drivers. So that does mean we're down to 10. That means that every finisher will now score points for the day. It's another reason why you never like to see drivers retiring in the pits. You just never know what's going to happen. So I understood it from Fences. If things, after such a promising start to the race, it seemed like everything that could go wrong started to go wrong. So understand it. I'm just double checking I'm in a party. Yeah, so Xbox Live didn't shut me out of that. That's good news. Tesco then has pitted and has gone to hard tyres to the end. Guys, while the safety car is out, I'm just going to disappear a second. I'll be back very, very shortly. Stick with it. Right, okay, back with you. So, still under safety car, that's good, I haven't missed anything. So everybody's pitted then. I suspect these medium guys are going to the end. Senna's gone to softs, which means he's got to pit again. Same for Christo. But I do think these medium guys are all going to the end. If you take into account a 50% race around here, 33 laps, and I believe you do it a soft to medium or a medium to soft, so reasonably easy. It's not that much quicker than doing a two-stop, but that would suggest to me your medium stint in that scenario is going to be 18 laps roughly, so therefore double that for the 100% was 36 laps. There's only 31 laps remaining, means these medium guys can definitely go to the end from here. Just to make sure, let's have a quick look through, make sure nobody's ghosting. Nope, so I think everybody's with us, which is good. Ghost Rider is first. Well done, Ghost Rider. So, thanks to you guys that stayed with us. I know these 100%ers can be difficult sometimes. They're difficult for the drivers, they're difficult for medium cons, they're difficult for guys watching. Particularly when they spread out, but when safety cars happen like this, just as things are spreading out a bit, it all brings it up closer together, which is brilliant. ET dropped to P2 literally just before the safety car. Unfortunately, when I rejoined the session, he seemed to leave the session, so again, my apologies to him if that was my fault, but like I said earlier, it's not really me, is it? It's the game, or Xbox or Microsoft or whatever, I don't know who it is. So, Just reacted to a message a second. Right, it's a safety car coming in. Looks like Drunken Shamrock's gone early. ET follows him, but looking down, just looking to see if anybody's got a run on someone. I think Winter Place was probably the closest. Possibly Vito and Bob, but no. Looks like everybody's gotten away okay. Christo looks like he was just a little slow to react, but we'll probably get that time back into the next couple of corners. Let's go once again to these guys. Just reacts into a message a second. So already, look, the front. Let's go to the front two because ET is really putting pressure on Shamrock. But they've already, look at this, they've already pulled out a second to Glads. These two, to be fair to them, Shamrock and ET, they really do look like they're in a league of their own today. It is interesting how you see the different drivers. In fact, I'll probably see it more in Wheelspin racing than other leagues that I do. How the different drivers are better at different tracks, it seems, which is interesting and pretty cool. So okay, sorry, my attention was elsewhere for a moment. Back with it in a way. So, sets to yellow is our good old friendly right-hander, and it's called out Tesco this time. I apologise, I didn't see what happened to Bob, but Bob has had to pit. It's such a shame for it. Something seems to happen to Bob every week, out of his control. And that Alfa Romeo has retired. Well, he'd got going again after the right-hander, and Tesco, I've got to say, that's not impressing the league owners, because that to me must have been a retirement on track. That's not endearing yourself to the league owners ready for next season, if that's your intentions. Right, I'm just going to put my phone on charge. Right, guys, so I just got to put my phone on charge. It's in the red now, and I've still got another race after this. So, apologies if you make any comments that I miss for a while. It needs some juice. And the charger, unfortunately, just out of reach for me to be able to grab on charger and look at the same time. So, anyway, we still remain with the two leaders. CT still piling on the pressure onto Shamrock, but even though they're fighting like this, the two behind are fighting as well, and they're still increasing the gap as Vito picks up 3 seconds. That also means that Tesco's retired before I've had a chance to do my every little helps joke for the week. I've been trying to get one in every week. I haven't managed to this week, so that ruins that for me. As ET then takes the lead of the race, now will he be able to get away from Drunken Shamrock this time? He's also purpled the first sector, so we may be on for seeing a new fastest lap here. I'm just going to go to Winter Place a second. He's 2 tenths off the back of Glads. But a bit different this time because Silver Eagle and Senator Great are sticking with these two. which means they could start to have an impact. So Senna though on soft tyres, so actually having gone to soft tyres, this is the last thing he wanted, to be stuck on the back of a 4-car train. He needed open air so that he could exploit the pace of those tyres. So ET does set that fastest lap with 1:19.1. Junkin Shamrock's fallen 6 tenths behind, so he's not going to be making a move, but Winter Place makes a move here. Goes to the inside for turn 1, actually gets the move done early enough to move back across and take the racing line. And back into P3 goes Winter Place. For how long, nobody knows. But indeed he does. But I bet you, despite the fact that all this means that Glads will win the championship if it stays like this, I bet you they're both thoroughly enjoying this little battle. It's been... on lap 42 of the race, and they have been battling for 42 laps. It's incredible. And these are the two fighting for the championship today. Remember, double points on offer, but Glads has a 20-point lead over Winter Place, who is our current champion, remember. So Glads looking to wrestle that title off of Winter Place. Now double points. So what if... let's throw something out there. What if Winter Place gets ahead of Drunken Shamrock? He would then be scoring 36. Glads would be scoring 24. Still not enough. If Glads was to finish P4, Winter Place needs to win the race. Simple as that. And with the pace of the two leaders, barring something happening to them, it seems very difficult to see how Winter Place is going to do that. So he might have been forgiven Winter Place for going to soft tyres during the safety car, just to try something different, see if he could get a gap, then pit later on to fresh softs and really take the battle back to the leaders. At least he'd have been trying something. Now he's just stuck on the same strategy. Of course, remember, it has just dawned on me actually that the two drivers ahead do both have penalties, so he doesn't necessarily need to beat them on track. So let's just take a quick look where they are at the moment. Oh look, ET's got 9 seconds. Okay, so that's a big penalty there. But Drunken Shamrock at the moment only the 3 seconds. He's currently 4.3 seconds ahead of Winter Place. So Winter Place would need to make up some time. He'd also have to time it perfectly, wouldn't he? He wouldn't want to be much more than 2.8 behind Drunken Shamrock if he can manage that. Because he doesn't want Glads to pick up the place, because that would then mean Glads wins the title again. So it's really difficult. But right now, it looks like the front two are continuing to extend their lead in a way. But this battle, remember, this is a 4-car battle, it's not just those two. There's 4 of them here, look. As you can see, is by far our closest battle on track at the moment. Just go to tyres just to double check. So suspicions are then that Senna and Christo will need to pit again. Not sure about Bob Dylan. I think he could probably hang those softs out to the end, but they're going to be pretty miserable come the end of the race. But all the medium tyre guys are surely going to the end. As I said earlier on, in a 50% race you'd be doing about 18 laps on a set of mediums around here, so 18, 19 laps, maybe even 20. So if you double that for a 100% race, they went on to them with 30 laps remaining, they should be able to do that reasonably comfortably. Yeah, and they might be feeling a bit miserable come the end, but I don't think there's any worries about getting to the point where they're going to completely drop off the cliff or explode or anything. So I'm going to suggest, let's just... No, let's stick with this. So I'm just going to move back one so that we're on Glads instead, so that we can see a bit more of the in fact, no, I'm going to go to Silver Eagle, and hopefully we might be able to see all of the cars a bit more often around the track, rather than just Winter Place and Glads. And the problem for Senna now is he's stuck behind these guys when he wanted a clear track, really, to exploit, as I say, exploit the pace of those softs. That's Bob. That's Bob. He's been round at turn 4. Another one of those low traction areas of the track. What a shame for Bob. He was running up in P4, P5. Having a really, really good race. For over half this race, he was having a really good race. It's just in the party. He'd want to keep going. He's still in the points. He can't, as long as he finishes, he picks up points. So, if you finish this race, you're guaranteed 4 points. So, sorry, let's just go back and look at Glads. Stick with him because he may be close enough. I think he's going to run out of tarmac though. Both around about the same energy as well. Silver Eagle's got a bit more, whereas Senna's having to use a bit to stick to the back of them. But what I was saying about Senna is, of course, he's not only did he want clear air ideally, he's not got it at any point, and now we're at a point where the medium tyres are going to be just as quick as the softs now, so he doesn't really have a tyre advantage anymore. So, Drunken Shamrock's still sticking with it. It just goes to show, doesn't it? Because while ET was playing catch-up and making his way back through the field, he looked by far the fastest driver on track. But now he is leading. He cannot get away from Drunken Shamrock at all. As Glads makes the move back into P3 once again. These guys continuously swapping positions throughout this race, and it's been an absolutely fantastic display of great driving from both of them. They have not touched once, or at least not once that I've seen. And I think they've swapped positions 6 or 7 times now. So it's hard to go anywhere else at the moment, guys. I always, as anybody of you who watch the stream regularly know, I do like to try and get everybody, or show as many people as I can on the stream. But it's just a bit difficult. Let's go to Christo for a second. Just right on board with Christo. I don't know when to. Yeah, I don't think Winter Place is going to be making a move, but Silver Eagle's a bit closer to Winter Place this time. So sorry, Christo, we're just going to keep an eye on this. Yeah, so now cancelling each other out, so we'll go back to Christo. Just give Christo a bit of airtime. Goes down to turn 1. I'm sure Christo would tell me after he's watched it back that there were parts of the race you could have gone to me where I was doing overtakes and stuff and not just driving around on my own, but it's just the way it works out. There's always something else going on somewhere else, and you never quite know which one to watch. It's a bit of the luck of the draw. Into the right-hander. It's all nicely. Seems to get on the power okay on exit. Must admit, he stayed in third on the exit, that right-hander. I'd have been short shifting there. So, our 4 cars going down the main straight once again. Winter Place has a look at the inside, but not close enough this time round. And of course, the more they battle, the more the leaders get away, and the gap now is nearly 10 seconds to Drunken Shamrock, so they're not even going to jump ET, who's got that 9-second penalty. But Glads don't mind, of course. And in order for Drunken Shamrock, who's sitting in third in the championship, further 10 points behind Winter Place when he's 30 behind Glads, obviously would need Glads to be much lower than this in order to nick that title. Well, you need Glads and Winter Place to be lower than this, so... yeah, for the likes of Shamrock and Winter Place, really, they would have liked to have seen a full grid today, rather than the 14 on track. These guys, I have to say, all four of these guys have raced really well in this 4-car battle. Again, I still haven't seen any contact between any of them. Just as Senna gets very close to the back of Silver Eagle, but didn't make contact, so... as you can see, well, at least these guys have stuck close and given us a good fight. Still 17 laps remaining, mind, so still plenty more that can happen. Another safety car could occur yet, you never know. Now, another safety car occurring really could change things up, especially if Winter Place gets ahead of Glads before it happened, because then we're in the situation of Winter Place is on the back of the two ahead that got penalties. So this championship isn't decided yet. It's very much odds on for... there's a yellow flag at turn 1. It was ET. So ET drops out the lead. I believe he's had a spin. Can't see any obvious damage on the car. And he seems to be staying close enough to Drunken Shamrock, so I think he's okay. ET just had a little bit of a moment, a bit of a spin, and has got going again. But, yeah, but that is why it would be particularly important, really, for Winter Place to get third back, if he can get into third, just in case of a safety car, and then he'd have to judge the timings perfectly. He would need to sort of back Glads up to the point where he's crossing the line just enough that he moves up to P1 and Glads stays P3 at least. Well, if they were P1 and P3 and neither of them had the fastest lap, which I don't think they will, then it put them equal on points, and it would be a case of me going, Bob Dylan, who's won the championship. Continue on. You guys are still out there watching. Thank you very much for sticking with us, guys. Really very appreciated, as always. I do appreciate it, guys. move us down to Glad so that we can see a bit of the cars behind as well. So, Windsor Place is back in P3 then. He's doing what he can do. This is all he can do. Try and make sure he's ahead of Glads in case of a safety car. It's all he can do now. There's no genuine chance of catching the guys ahead. They're 13 seconds up the road now. I mean, the two at front, by the way, Junkin Shamrock and ET the Gamer. What a race they have driven. Exceptionally quick, both of them today. Around what is a difficult track here at Portimao. As ET retakes the lead. They remain side by side going into turn 3. We're back onto turn 4 now. It's ET on the inside. We'll get the DRS, and surely we'll get a move into the left-hander. Basically a hairpin. And he's done that nicely because he's now going to have the inside of the double right-hander as well. So as long as they both get out of here cleanly, that is an overtake for the lead of the race on track. Of course, he has a much bigger penalty than Drunken Shamrock, so really Drunken Shamrock is still in control of this race, but it is an overtake for the lead on track. And as we know, of course, you never quite know what a driver's going to do after the race, so you may have 9 seconds of penalties, but so you're free, but you don't know if he's going to ask for penalty removals or anything like that. Very unlikely to get 3-second penalties removed because they're normally just simple corner cutting ones, but you know, you've got to bear that in mind sometimes. You don't know what the other guy's going to do, so you do still need to beat him on track really, just in case. As we really are starting to get to the later stages of the Grand Prix now. We have a pitter, so Senna is into the pits off of those softs. He did what he could, but just unfortunate for him that he kind of got stuck behind those cars. It's going to be mighty close between him and Christo on pit exit. Well, Christo goes through, so not that close actually in the end, but of course Christo on 21 lap old soft, you assume he's got to pit again, unless he thinks, well, hey, I may as well try and stick out to the, I might try and stay ahead of Senna. But you'd imagine with fresh softs that Senna will close that gap pretty rapid. So then, I mean, this battle has just been absolutely incredible. The whole race. The whole race, these two have not been outside a second of each other. And they have not made contact once. Well, Senna's just gone past. Hang on, what happened there? No, Senna hasn't gone past Christo. I think the timing's just glitched a little bit and shows Senna getting ahead of Christo, but it was a glitch. I looked straight down at the track and he wasn't anywhere near at that point, but he is very much catching him rapidly, as I think Bob Dylan has a moment at a right-hander again. Keep going, Bob, come on. It's points, buddy, so just keep it going. We'd all love to see you finish today. Plus, the guy ahead of you's got 6 seconds more penalties than you, so go on, you can get that gap down, Bob. And into the pits then comes Christo. I think he realised he wasn't going to be able to stay ahead of that battle. So has pitted, and down the straight comes Vito, and will take that position. As you can see, Christo just coming out the pits, but again has fresh tyres over Vito's 20-lap old mediums. So you'd imagine a 5-second gap isn't really going to stay there very long. So we'll see what he can do by getting that gap down to Vito as well. There's the front two are still battling. Glads and Winter Place are still battling. Where are they? Oh, we're on the main straight. This is an overtake again from these two. Silver Eagle's looking to see if he could go through as well, but runs out of tarmac. As they come round into turn 3. Winter Place staying reasonably close. Maybe close enough to get it straight back. No, has a tiny little look, but realises, I think, that he's not really close enough to do it. So holds back for now. But the same scenario remains as previously. He needs to get that place back. He needs to be the man in P3 if a safety car comes out. I just wonder, what if we had a safety car like 5 laps from the end? I don't want to curse it or anything like that, but what if we did? You would imagine all the medium guys are going to want to jump in for softs. But what if Winter Place said, do you know what, they're all going to jump in for softs, the only thing I can do here is stay out on the mediums. There's only going to be 2 laps, there's going to be no DRS. It's the only thing I can do. It would make it very, very interesting. Don't quite get the overtake this lap. Obviously only the 3 of them now because Senna pitted. So I'm just going to have a quick look through the drivers a second, because I've lost all my times, which usually indicates that a driver has either left or joined. Hopefully then it might be someone joining, because nobody appears to have left. Right, ERS, oh, Glads is got a good 20% more energy in Winter Place. So, I would like to see the gap. I'd like to see what the gap is for Senna over these guys. Just looking down at the track, it looks like it's a hefty gap, if I'm honest. He's just coming through the right-hander, so yeah, it don't look like he's into it very much. So, looking down, Christo gradually catching Vito, but actually Bob Dylan seems to be gradually catching Christo, which is interesting, considering they're both on softs and Bob's are 17 laps older. I think the gap looks about the same, so you might see Winter Place pop slightly out to the right, but realise no good. Need to wait another lap and try and stick to his gearbox. It's hard to imagine another safety car coming out now. So, here we go again then, lead up to turn 1. And again, Winter Place just going to have to settle in behind. So as the laps tick away, so do the hopes of a safety car. It needs to come out in the next 3 laps. It's got to come out really. Lap 61, 62 or 63. Lap 64 would be too late. So it's 3 laps left for that safety car to come out and just give a little bit of hope to winter place. But looks like that hope's beginning to disappear. Vito picks up another 3 seconds. That could be handy for Bob. Let's take another look at the penalties as we've been going a bit further. So ET's jumped up to 12. Still not really going to matter. He's still only going to lose the place to Drunken Shamrock. Vito, though, up to 30 seconds. So that now means that Bob Dylan is close enough. He will jump Vito, as will Crystal, of course. That means Bob will definitely move up to P8, which will see him pick up 8 points instead of the 4 he's got currently. So he's literally double his points tally by jumping up there. Which is the least Bob deserves today, because he's driven a great race and he's just had a bit bad luck on a restart, which has just ruined it slightly for him. And like with any league, you always like to see the boss man of the league doing well. So obviously, a couple of safety cars, nobody's going to be having any fuel issues. And Portimao, to be fair, Portimao's pretty soft on fuel in 08. We're going to use, I think it's 0.01 or, no, hang on, yeah, 0.01 or 0.02. So basically each lap costs you about 1.01 laps of fuel, or 1.102. Oh god. I'm nearly 3 hours into comms now and the maths brain ain't working, so forgive me. We are on lap 63 then, which is the last lap that a safety car could potentially come out. Let's look at our 2 leaders. They have just lapped Bob Dylan, so they're also coming up onto the back of Crystal and Vito. I'm sure there won't be any traffic issues. I bet Silver Eagle's probably thinking, it's as much as he's loving seeing these 2 battle ahead of him, I bet he's thinking, you guys have been battling for so many laps, is there any chance one of you could make a mistake at some point and let me have a place? But to be fair to Silver, he's not tried anything silly, he's not tried shoving it up the inside. I'm sure he's aware of what's going on ahead of him, that these 2 are battling for the championship. Obviously, he may not be aware that it's pretty much done and dusted. That set to 1 yellow, by the way, was Drunken Shamrock. I was about to say it was Bob Dylan, but it's not. It's the other Mercedes, a Drunken Shamrock. So finds himself now 8 seconds behind ET, and the win is in question now for Drunken Shamrock. If that gap reaches 9 seconds, ET will win this race. Obviously, it doesn't make any difference to the championship, but obviously everybody likes to win the last race of the season, go into the new season strong. In terms of constructors, by the way, the fact that CTV Glads is in third means that AlphaTauri will take the constructors as it stands. That is a sector 3 yellow, and this time that is Vito. Has been off track, allowing Bob Dylan to take P8 in away on track now. That will be the highest Bob can get because he's currently got 24 seconds of penalties himself. With the two guys ahead on both on 9 seconds, so they got a 15-second buffer over him in away. With that, back to Glads, sector 3 yellow, I believe, is Vito. Coming into the pits. Please don't retire, Vito. Take your points. A couple of laps remaining, man. So please don't retire. Take your 4 points. Be ashamed to do 65 or 64 laps and then retire in the pits. So you want something to show for it, wouldn't you? Continue to battle. Well, unless there was a moment at the start where these two ended up outside a second from each other. Since then, I don't know if there was. If they stayed within a second of each other at the start of this race, that means they have been within a second of each other for the whole race, as we are now on lap 66 of 66. And not once that I've noticed, in a way, have they made contact. Absolutely outstanding, astounding racing from the pair of them. Serious respect. I don't know when to place that well, but I know Glads is a very young man. But the standard of racing that he's shown here today is incredible. And an absolute pleasure to watch. Little update on the lead, by the way. 8.974 currently the difference. The battle for the race win will go down right the way down to the line as Winter Place and Glads are next to each other again. So Winter Place not giving up on the idea of actually finishing on the podium and ahead of Glads on track, but he's going to take the fight to him for the remainder of this lap. Let's just go round to ET, who crosses the line. It's going to be mighty close. The ERS is on. The ERS runs out. And he does it. Well, it says he did it by 1.9 seconds. I don't quite know how that works because it was a 8.9 second gap. Whatever, doesn't matter. But here is the main man for the day. Across the line comes TTV Glads to take the final podium spot for the Portimao Portuguese race and wins the Drivers' Championship. Congratulations to Glads. Winter Place in P4 put up a huge effort. Both of them have today. Gigantic effort. Just unfortunately for him, Drunken Shamrock and ET were just monumental today. The pair of them, the pace that they both had was incredible. I believe that Drunken Shamrock has won this race from ET, but I don't believe he's done it by 1.917 seconds. I believe he's done it by 0.086. But Bob Dylan or whoever, the stewards or whatever, will need to watch that back and just confirm if they think I'm right on that. But obviously a massive congratulations to the top three. Massive congratulations to TV Glads. Even as well, a massive congratulations to AlphaTauri. Give me a second, I will name the other AlphaTauri driver because they weren't with us today. They appear to have... So, where's WRL? I'm missing it. There we go. standings. I want to get them in. Who's the other AlphaTauri driver? Oh, it says it's Phase Giddy Up, so Phase, but he hasn't driven a race by the looks of it, so, or if he hasn't scored any points. So congratulations to AlphaTauri, congratulations to TV Glads. Driver of the day for today, I'm gonna go with ET. Just for the sheer pace, he's picked up fastest lap as well, 1:18.7, but the pace was exceptional. Although, as I say, if Bob watches this back, I do think Drunken Shamrock is the winner. I think that is correct. I just don't think the time difference is correct. But well done to all the finishers as well, all picking up points. Bob did finish 8th, so we'll pick up 8 points. Vito, well done, buddy, getting to the end. 4 points for you. Christo, Senna. Silver Eagle as well, picking up P5 and stuck on the back of that battle and never put anything silly up the inside or anything like that. So fair play to him. Silent but effective there. So congratulations. As I say, huge congratulations to Glads. I'm sure the result at the moment will of course be provisional. It'll be confirmed in the Discord shortly, I'm sure. But as it stands, I believe he is the champion, so congratulations to him. Unlucky to Winter Place, but man, did you put up a hell of a fight to defend your title, and I'm sure going into next season you'll be right on the front again, so congratulations still on P2, and P3 in the championship. Congratulations to Drunken Shamrock, who picks that one up. So other than that, guys, I'm actually late for my next race, so I'm going to have to sort of jump off, but thank you ever so much to, as always, to everybody that's watched the stream live at any point. Also to anybody that watches it back, it is really, really appreciated. I thoroughly enjoyed doing this season with Wheelspin Racing. It's been a short season and into 7 races. We'll be back for F122. Not exactly sure when yet, but I'm sure Bob Dylan will confirm that as soon as he can. But I'm sure we all look forward to getting on a new game. I'll be on it on Tuesday. I don't know about the rest of you, but I'll be on it on Tuesday, probably going, oh my god, it's so broke, but hopefully not. Anyway, guys, thank you ever so much to all of you. I thoroughly enjoyed the season, and I'll be back next season, and I hope you are too. So thank you very much, and good night.